Hello YouTube, welcome back to Cine2Nerdle Battles. We're going straight into Battle 2.0 with a random genre. We need 8 fantasy movies, and they need 3 Bruce Willis movies. Let's see what we can do. Directed by Frank Oz. Howard Shore. Let's try and get... I can't take fantasy movies yet, so I'm trying to get us into Cronenberg and try and use Howard Shore to go over to Lord of the Rings. Will they let me do that? No, I guess we just... Twilight must be fantasy. Yeah. Okay. I don't know who the other 6 are, but one of them is... You know what? We're going to abduction. I don't know how many ways there are to get out of that. I'd like to think we're going back to Twilight. Alfred Molina is in Prince of Persia. Sands of Time. That would be Jake Gyllenhaal. Ben Kingsley, fantasy movie. I'm going to say Shang-Chi probably counts. I'm not paying much mind to Bruce Willis. I don't know the recent straight-to-streaming ones well enough to avoid those. But let's try to avoid the obvious ones. Can't go anywhere near Shyamalan. He's in Pulp Fiction. Okay, does this count as fantasy? I have a horrible feeling it doesn't. It does not? Yeah, I have one here. Sasquatch Sunset via Riley Keough. And we're halfway there. And even if you watched this thing, you might not know who's in it. Okay, Jesse Eisenberg. Danny McBride is in Your Highness, which is a fantasy. Looking good so far. I don't know much about this. We're going to Prince Avalanche. He's not in that one. Danny McBride. In the Waterboy. Joe Dirt. We are escaping from Danny McBride. This is the end, surely. There's got to be a Fassbender fantasy movie. Cumberbatch. Benedict Cumberbatch. Desolation of Smaug. And I'm going to brick because we've got these bricks. What do I know about Bruce Willis? Ah, ha ha ha. The Sixth Sense brick. My Sixth Sense, not Bruce Willis's. Just trying to play something. Yeah, we got bricked, didn't we? Okay, but what have we got? I think I'm just gonna... I'm not gonna play Shaun of the Dead, am I? I'm gonna play Hot Fuzz. Because Kate Blanchett is in it. And we're gonna brick. And Martin Freeman. And even Bill Nighy gets us to pirates. Jennifer Garner, I know Electra counts. Saving the brick. That is probably smart. Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. Is Hugh Jackman in a Bruce Willis movie? Not one I know about. Our opponent is out of blocks. They have a skip left. They're just going to let us have it. Good game. Fantastic. We go again. That is a scary ranking. But so was the last one, actually. Oscar Isaac. They need 3, and I'm back on the fantasy train. I don't have much here. What am I missing from Michael J. Fox? Fair enough. There must be a better play than this, but there it is. Do they just play the sequel and then I'm in trouble? No, okay. Nora's father-in-law is in Nobody. Okay, I see you know you're Sean Baker. I need one I can get out of. Tangerine I can't get out of. I'm not even sure I can get out of Red Rocket. I haven't seen it. Yeah, I am afraid that we are escaping. DiCaprio, Hardy. In Naruto? Maybe? No. Oscar Isaac's in the Bourne Legacy, apparently. But The Mummy counts as fantasy. He's in Agora. Okay, fine. No, that's Bayona. There's no hiding who's in this one, unfortunately. Wow. That was... Our opponent did not miss any chances there. That was incredible. I thought I liked Oscar Isaac. We have another 2,000. Greta Gerwig. Is that a fantasy? Oh, it is, but I don't need it yet. I have the feeling I don't want to be anywhere near pitch perfect. We're going to Cats. Gerwig. I want to stay away from Chalamet and Gosling and Robbie. The other Taylor. I think that movie pairs up the Taylors. I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it. And they've bricked us. What's a Kristen Stewart movie I can play that... We go to Clouds of Sils Maria. I don't want to burn all my Twilight links just yet. Is that the composer or the cinematographer? Harry Potter and whatever. I don't think there's another Emma Watson link to Gerwig. They're going to block me. Yeah. I need to Maya you in. Let's try that. I never did see The Matador, but I don't have to get out of it. Okay, let us go with Red Riding Hood, which is a fantasy, among other things. Amanda Seyfried Trap. How's this? Gone is not a good movie. Emma Stone Fantasy, surely. If Kinds of Kindness doesn't count, it should. Yeah. I don't think I have to block that. But I write Greenberg. I can't go to Ben Stiller. I need an Adam Sandler fantasy movie without Ben Stiller in it. No idea. Okay. Where are we going with that? We're going to Child of God. That is too obscure. We are... Oh, you're going to Pineapple Express, and I'm not happy about it. I'm going to block that just in case. There's too many people in it. Is this the round we played Prince of Persia? I think that was last round. Kingsley and Molina. I want to say it's Gemma Arterton. We know Shang-Chi counts. Of course he is. He's one of the Kens. Well, we nearly got there. And that's a more approachable ranking. And I'm after romance. I need now 10 romance movies. Denzel Washington. Okay. Oh. I'm not on fantasy anymore. Fantastic. Okay. That's not a good play. But they can't play Denzel off it. Fading Gigolo. You're going to tell me this isn't a romance? Oh boy. Well, we got one. He's a busy man, Denzel Washington. John Travolta. Not a romance. I haven't seen this one. I just need to try and get as far away from Denzel Washington. We're going to Spain. Oh, wow. Well, if I'm going to do that, I should at least play a romance. No. You've got mail. Yeah, that's what I was going to do next. Yeah, that's everybody's Tom Hanks trap. Spider-Man Homecoming. And I can't play a romance. Dune with a block because it's a big cast. What can I do with that? Paddington. It's like walking through a minefield. There's so many Denzel Washington movies. Is there a trap there? I still think I'm okay. Not many people in that one. It's just Chris Pratt, Jennifer Lawrence, and Chris Pratt is in Magnificent Seven. That is what I get for being too cautious or too conservative with my lifelines. They're there for a reason. Horror. We're after horror. But not yet. That is not the movie I played. I typed Avatar. And they're after fantasy. Dangerous Minds, just because I don't think I've ever played it. Yeah, I liked it too. I would argue that Noah is probably a fantasy movie. It's got those giants in it. Horror. Oh. Is Rachel Weisz in The Haunting? No. The Mummy's horror adjacent. Oh, but I definitely need to block. For that reason. Alright, what have we got? I know... Let's try it. Nah, that really should count. What have we got? We've got Hugh Jackman. Possible Laura Dern. Hans Zimmer. Let's just get out of there. Okay. Phones and all is what I would play without a block. Micah Monroe as well. Fine. Little Women and block because of Emma Watson and Greta Gerwig. The Circle. They still have a skip. Not a lot of Tom Hanks horror movies out there. Francois Truffaut's in it. Fine. Well, we burned the lifeline. That's all we wanted. Go to Moon. Clint Mansell. Maybe. No. Melancholia. And we block. If nothing else, Jumanji counts as fantasy. into Antichrist. Trying to think if there's any other Lars that counts as horror. House the Jack build, obviously. Oh, we blocked? Yeah, okay. Get out of that. This is Abel Ferrara. So we can do stuff like The Addiction. Gene Huckabees, no. I think that's Lily Tomlinson. Third Indiana Jones is called Last Crusade. Sure, knock, knock. That's a horror movie. What are we doing? This has the guy from National Treasure in it, I think. No, it doesn't. This has Peter Stormare in it. Here's one you've not a lot of people have seen. Corridor. I saw this at the horror section of a festival one day. If they don't know who Peter Stormare is, I think we win. Fargo is the way out of this. It's the icing on the cake that it was a horror movie that did it. Who else is in this thing? No, that's tough. Oh, and after this one, I think I'll do a random cast. We are looking for horror. And looking to avoid fantasy. The Irishman. I can't help but notice that our person playing for fantasy movies has a golden wizard icon, which means they have won with fantasy movies 50 times. We need to win as quickly as possible. Or we have just no chance. David Carradine's in this. And I think it might be Barbara Hershey. That's what we wanted. They've got one more escape. And I can't play horror. Oh, that's an Australian movie. Too obscure. I don't know. Glass Onion. The other movie I thought about was Halloween, which is also a horror movie. Let's go to the new version of The Little Mermaid. Should have blocked that. I Am Legend is a Will Smith horror movie. Maybe. Not a lot of other cast, though. This is the director of the first Hunger Games movie. Or maybe the later Hunger Games movies. Emma Thompson, what are you doing here? That's a horror movie! There are lots of Dan Stevens horror movies. What do you know about Tyrannosaur? Enough. Gosh. Olivia Colman. Block, because we're Lord of the Rings adjacent. And Hobbit adjacent. Okay. Avatar counts as fantasy. Is she in... She's in a movie called The Words. That Bradley Cooper right on the cover is not helping me. J.K. Simmons. And I just have to brick every turn. Well, that's my last brick. But I needed it. Nicholas Hoult. I had a Nicholas Hoult trap. Quickly. It's not much of a trap. I hope they don't know an Amanda Seyfried fantasy movie. I think Jeremy Irons might be in this too. Our only hope is a traditional win. I need them to play a Kristen Scott Thomas movie and give me a third X. Or just no play would work as well. Huh. I don't know about that one. Isn't it? Why did you know that? And why did it take you 40 seconds to know that? Alright, I said we're doing random cast. Let's try that. That's frustrating. Especially because I don't know that there's much fantasy element in Tomb Raider. Not in the remake. It's a girl trapped on an island with a bunch of mercenaries. Frances McDormand. But not yet. I don't know, Prince Caspian. And they're after Heath Ledger. And they've had some success. They have the 10 Ledger wins icon. He's not in that one. John Wick. He's not in that one. The Ice Road. Where do we want to be from here? And how many blocks do they have? They have 2. And they need Heath Ledger. Total Recall. Not that one. Total Recall 2012. This is the only movie I've ever stood up in the cinema and walked out of. I've watched like 1,900 movies in cinema. And this was the one. I got an hour and a half into this movie, bored out of my mind, zero stakes CGI car chases. And Bill Nighy showed up, and I thought to myself, if he says something interesting, I'll stay. And he said just the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and I stood up and left. Wow, okay. Via the composer, I mean, what are you going to do? That's very impressive. That they could get to a ledger from that. I'm running out of things I know about Tim Blake Nelson. You know, Brother, Where Art Thou, I think. And the Coens, that's a good place to be. Okay, The Batman. There are only so many Heath Ledger movies. And if I just play all of them... Wow. Oh no, that's not a win. That's my burn book going off because they played something obscure. Sure, let's try. That's the wrong Bale. This is not an era I want to be in. I want to go back to the 70s or I want to go in the 2020s. Atlantic. I've long since abandoned Frances McDormand. Atlantic City. It's not her. Alien. That's her. Atlantic City is Sarandon. They're out of escapes. Just need to keep them in old movies. You have 4 cast lifelines. Okay. So you need a George Lucas movie that doesn't have Harrison Ford in it. There's one that I can think of, and it's terrifying. THX 1138 would be a very good play here. We got there. That was a close one. I almost feel bad doing it that way, just because there is such a small era of Heath Ledger films. One more random cast. I'd love to win by cast. Maggie Smith's not going to be the one, let me tell you here. And they need Pixar movies. Let us try burning some Pixar movies. It's too many. Brian Brown. Now I have you where I want you. In Australia. Fair enough. Let's go back to Pixar. Or is that Disney? I think it's Pixar. That's why I did it. This is a Disney movie, not a Pixar, right? But Ratzenberg is in this, which means I get off free. Tom Holland, is he in Luca? No, he isn't. Let's try Two Guns. Wahlberg and Denzel Washington. Jolie. Let's go to Tomb Raider. Is Daniel Craig in a Pixar movie? I don't think so. Let's go to Mum and Dad. To Wild. Well, they haven't hit Pixar yet. I don't think I've been anywhere near Maggie Smith either. No, I want to go to this Twilight. Of course he is. Of course Paul Newman's in Cars. Are you allowed to play Pixar movies? Is it just Ratzenberg you can't use? Guess that would make this a really bad tactic. Let me tell you about Cars 3. Aha! It blocks you from using a movie if you use it too many times guessing. Owen Wilson. I feel safer in Jennifer Lopez territory than playing some random Owen Wilson comedy. You kidding me? I suppose we're going to discover very quickly if they're allowed to play Pixar movies. It hasn't put a brick up. Hey! Bill Hader. Is in Inside Out. Let me tell you about Inside Out 2. Are you kidding? They replaced her. I forgot about that. That's okay. Black Swan. Block. Just in case. Why do I keep thinking Clint Mansell did those movies? It's Clint something. We're having some control problems here. I don't think I need to block there. I still think I'm okay. No, it's Beauty Shop, isn't it? Haley Joel Osment. That feels like it might go to Pixar. Lorenza Izzo. We're going to the Green Inferno. That doesn't go to Pixar. Okay, that's good. There's only about 4 people in Gravity. And that definitely links to Coco, doesn't it? So we can't have that. Lisa Kudrow. Runs with kids, maybe? I just don't think I know. I do know a Mira Sorvino movie. I'm not sure what happened there. At least it gave it to me. To the Omen. Okay. We go the other goon. I mean, we know Angelina Jolie movies. Poor old Maggie Smith ignored in the corner over here. Well. Oh, this is not where we want to be. Okay, that's fine. Broken Hearts Gallery. There's another one and I can't immediately come up with it. Look at the smorgasbord of lifelines our opponent has equipped. It's a lot. Sure, well, it's Keira Knightley. We get to Never Let Me Go. This is a long game. Mainstream, okay. Palo Alto. By Gia Coppola. That is frighteningly Pixar adjacent, but is not Pixar. Dane Cook. I never saw Waiting. John Krasinski. That feels like a Pixar voice to me. Well, that's kind of incredible. Does it link to the first one? Same link. Marco Beltrami, the composer. Okay. Part 2 is where we get Cillian Murphy. Around 83. Yeah, Maggie Smith's in it. I know. I'm going to Shoot 'Em Up by Clive Owen. It's about to get excited and start typing Harry Potter movies in. They wait 83 turns to give me a Maggie Smith movie, and then they block me. Clive Owen. The boys are back. This is a movie I don't know nothing about. So, yeah. Oh. Downton Abbey. No, we're not getting out of that. I did it to myself. And for future reference, what are our ways out of The Boys Are Back? George Mackay. Okay. Well, it was a good game either way. We'll end it there. See you tomorrow.